All right, let's go into how to do a one-to-one training. There are a couple different things, and there's a lot of different nuances to it, and it depends on whether you're working with a vet, a rookie, somebody that's bageling a ton, or whether they're getting 2 to 3 sales and they're trying to get 4 or 5 sales. They're capped out at whatever they're at. So the process that I follow is I'll take their iPad and I'll go look at how they were running their area the day before. And so I'll look at like any red flags of if they were actually working, like they were running their area efficiently, they were talking to 10 people. But my main goal is to see if they're getting to price a ton or 3 objections or 5 objections out of price or whatever it is, see kind of where they're running into. And then I log that in the back of my brain. So I say, cool, you did 5 objections after price. And so I'll log that in my brain. I understand that. Cool. Now let's go into your approach. And I like to listen to their full approach. Typically, depending on who it is, and especially if they're not selling well at all, I like to go listen to their full approach, like 3, 5 objections after price, just to see if they have the foundation for it. Because in reality, if they can get to price, but they don't have the words down to do 5, 7, I stop at 3 to 5, but if they can't do 5, 7, 10 objections after price, then they're not going to be getting a lot of sales, right? And so that's one of the big things that I'll go look at. And then I'll listen to their full approach and I'll kind of log in my brain what are like the bigger things that I'm seeing that would hold you back from getting a sale. So I'll take that, log that in the back of my brain. Cool. Now let's go back to it. And I'll have them start with the intro. So the way that I do this, my goal is what are the overall things that I just saw? And so are there anything screaming at me that I'm like, oh, this for sure needs to be fixed? And if not, then we can go back into the details. And so when I start back on the second time that they start role playing with me, I am just re-solidifying whatever came to my head, whatever idea, whatever thing that they were struggling with. So when I go back to it, I'll have them do their intro. And if there was something screaming at me, like the words were off. So if you're starting with a bigger part, words roadmap. Are they sticking to that? Because that is the foundational thing that if they aren't doing that, then it's really hard to go teach them other things because that is the base for it. So you see if those are right. Generally, if they're right, then awesome. Let's go into the intro. What is the general feel of the intro? So those are the 3 things. It's not how to overcome certain objections. The foundational part is the bigger picture, like massive, like foundational things. Are they doing it right or wrong? And then sweet, let's go look at the intro. And I'll go look at the very basic things that are really easy to go apply. So, and I don't dive into those a ton. Let's go adjust your stance. Let's go adjust however you are, whatever it is there. And then I listen to their pitch again. And I listen to their paraverbals. And I'll I'll look at their body language. And the cool thing about role playing with somebody is you get to go see things that you wouldn't be able to go see if you're standing behind them on the doors, right? So paraverbals, you're looking typically for like pauses if you're just stuck at the intro. And I'll do a different video later to go in depth on other things. But you're looking at like their pauses, their speed. Volume is a little bit harder to go fix because paraverbals shift a lot once they get on the doors. And so it's easy for somebody to sound really good now, not as good later. Pauses, that one they can't really fake. So if they're doing terrible pauses on the doors, they'll usually do terrible pauses in an intro. So you can go fix those. And then I would look at those. And the idea is what is keeping them from getting a sale, or what is keeping them from getting to price, or what is keeping them from getting 5 objections after price, right? So don't go fix things just to fix things. Fix things that will help them go get farther along in the pitch. And this part can't fully be trained to say, you go practice this. You'll give feedback. You go see what works. You'll practice this with yourself, right? And so I'll go look at those and I'll just look at the simple basics of, do they have really terrible up pitches or are they pausing a ton? And then I dive into the body language. And this is all, by the way, this is still in my head. This is happening a lot faster in my head. I'll go look at their body language and mainly their facial expressions. Like that is the biggest thing. Are they eye blocking? Are they able to make eye contact with me? Are they looking over my shoulder the entire time? Because just remember, they can't do it during a role play. Rarely are they doing it well on the doors during the summer. And so I would go into that and I would go look at eye contacts. Are they eye blocking? Are they making solid eye contact the entire time? Are they only looking away twice, whatever it is? And then I go look into their smile. So some people will start off like, hey, how's it going? Good, I'm Tanner. I'm out here with Moxie Pest Control. That is a typical thing. And so that trying to join the icebreaker, hey, how's it going? I'm doing good. That's good. And then into the I'm Tanner with Moxie Pest Control. Blending those two together, a lot of the time that's what people run into that just doesn't sound natural. But the if you go look at those and you're kind of going and patching it all together, then I step back and I say, cool, what is the general fix? Is he not getting respect? Does he not sound very confident? Does he not sound natural? What is the biggest thing? Is he not connecting with them? I look at that bigger picture and say, cool, what is one or two things that I can go fix with us? And the thing with the role play is you go fix one or two things and then you wait for 2 days or so, and then you go try it again. You keep working on this. And once they get that instilled, then you can go instill the next one and the next one and the next one. And they don't have to be perfect with everything, but your goal is help them get sales. So what is the thing that allows them to sound more confident and demand respect? And then later on, as you get the intro more down packed, then certain things that allow them to get farther down the pitch, certain things that allow them to be likable, certain things that allow them to sound a lot more natural. Because that is the biggest thing that we, as we're learning, sound confident, but you don't really sound as natural or friendly. And so like you start learning that, and then your confidence goes down. And so it's just figuring out how to go do that balance. And the biggest thing, I mean, that's a general process that I follow, but the biggest thing is just practice. As a leader, you need to go practice doing role plays and giving the feedback. And don't just give the feedback and then just be done. Go see if it works. Go test things on yourself. That is the best way to go learn. If you're not doing that, then it's really hard to go actually improve.